What's up, gamers? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we'll be going over how to be a successful team in Rainbow Six Siege. Before we go any further, links to all my socials in the description below, so make sure you go check those out. Now, a few months ago, I made a video on how to find a team or make a team. All those points are still true today. So if you're not even on a team yet, or you want to make a team and you don't know how, make sure you check out that video. But this video is going to be centered around if you're already on a team or you already have a team and how to be a successful team. Now, the first thing, even before you're on the team, but especially when you're on the team, is establishing goals. Like, what do you want to be? What do you want to hit? If you're on a team and you're like, okay, I want to hit Pro League. Do you guys want to become pro? And if they all say yes, great. If some say yes, some say no, okay. That's not the best, because then you have a kind of a mix of goals, a mix of commitment pretty much. If everybody on the team wants to be the best, they're more likely to be committed and willing to grind. Rather, if it's just like, oh, I'm just doing this for fun, I'm just doing this because I don't like ranked, anything like that, there's going to be less commitment. Now, this goal can be anything. It just comes down to being on the team with the same goal as you. Because if you have half your team, like I said, trying to go pro, and you just want to play this for fun, it's going to lead to a lot of probably misunderstandings and some unhappiness, especially if they're out here working like 6 hours a day and you just show up for practice and then leave. It's not going to be the best. But the next thing is going to be establishing your identity as a team. And what I mean by that is like your play style, how you want to play, how you want to be perceived, anything like that. If you want to be a really aggressive team, or just rotate your play style completely around the meta, or be a really passive team, work on that, because this might sound stupid, but it goes back to the whole goal thing. If you have two players who swing everything, and then you have three players who do the complete opposite, if those players are alive at the same time, you're not going to be on the same page and playing the same way. This mainly comes down to also communication though. If you are like, okay, we need to swing this guy, then it's like, all right, let's swing him. But it's mainly not going to be the best. Now, if you have a couple roamers or entry frags, they're obviously going to be more aggressive than your support players or your ace. But what I see a lot, especially in my experience, is I play a lot more passively as a support player. But then what happens is my team wanted me to play aggressively without me ever knowing, and then they get mad at me. So make sure you establish your identity of what every player wants to be doing, or what you want the player to be doing. Next is going to be setting a schedule. Now, the schedule is probably the most important thing. If you consistently are practicing every day except like Thursday and Sunday, or just every day from like 4 to 7, whatever it may be, you got to set that schedule so everybody knows when to show up and is on time and ready to work. Because if you're sitting there at 4 and your practice is supposed to start at 4, you want to be there a couple minutes early, just like with any other practice, or like if you're going to class, anything like that, you want to be earlier. Because let's say you have some tech issues or whatever, you're just slowing down the whole team. And on a team with just a couple of your friends, it might not be super serious, but when it comes down to if you're ever on a better team, or it's ever for a game or a warm-up practice before a game, something like that, you're going to need to be on time, and you need to have that schedule set. What's really helpful is just having a weekly schedule, not like at 3:30 we're practicing at 4 tonight, but have a week schedule set out with off days, on days, every single time set out, everything like that, and trying scheduling practices ahead of time. Because what happens a lot, especially in my experience, we're like, okay, we're practicing at 4, and then we sit there until 4:30 trying to find a scrim, and then we don't get to practice that much because we have to leave at a certain time as well. Now that you have your goal, your identity, and your schedule, it's going to come down to grinding. It's going to come down to practicing within the game, and then also practicing without of the game. What I basically, by in the game, I mean in practicing, like as a team, you also need to work individually. Now, on your off day, you might take a break. You might do like some aim training, or just maybe some VOD review, anything like that. But you can't just practice for what the allotted practice time is and expect to be super successful. Now, obviously, as a team, if you're practicing 8 hours a day, then you're probably not going to get too much out of practicing outside of the game, except for VOD reviewing. And you don't have to be, when I say practice, like playing Kovacs or scrimming or anything like that. It can be VOD reviewing, like, oh wow, I don't know how we lost this round. Oh, this happened. Let's rework a strategy, something like that. And then the final tip is going to be getting as much experience as you can. I feel like a lot of people, this kind of goes like into a ranked mentality. If you see and you're playing against the SSG stack or the TSM stack or just a really good ranked stack, they'll cancel the match. People will cancel the match because they don't want to lose their elo. You want to take those opportunities to get better and to learn experience like that. And this goes the same on teams. For example, the team I was most previously on, we had the opportunity to scrimmage a team named Rent Free, who are now in Pro League, because they were the best team in Challenger League. We scrimmaged them 2 or 3 times, and we got slammed, to be honest, except for that last time, because those other encounters that we played with them, and we try to play as many good teams as we can, and as often as we could. All that experience, all those qualifiers, playing all those other good teams, helped us build experience to where the last time that we played Rent Free, we actually did a lot better within the 3 rounds we were able to play because their game got moved up. But anyways, what I'm saying is you want to take any opportunity you can. If you have the opportunity to scrim TSM and you might be a fairly new team, play good teams. Play as the best team you can as often as you can. Because unless, one, you're trying out a bunch of new strategies, even if you are trying out new strategies, play the best people you can, because if they exploit something in your team, like, oh, against a bunch of plat 3s, this strategy was perfect, but against a high rank like Diamond Champ team, they completely exploited this whole side of the strat we never knew was there. Then you're going to learn from that and improve that strat, so when you are playing against weaker teams, it's going to be even more ironclad. But when you're playing against stronger teams, you're prepared and you're able to adjust, and you know what's wrong and you can fix it. That's pretty much all to say for being a successful team. Quickly recapping, you got to set your goals of what you want to be as a team, your identity, basically your play style, set a schedule pretty much every week. Maybe on Monday you set the schedule up until the next Monday, then you repeat the process. Then you need to grind, whether it be in practice, out of practice, VOD reviewing, aim training, anything like that, making strategies. And then the last step was getting as much experience as you can. If you see this league and it's like, wow, this league's complete trash, why even play it? There's always going to be 1 or 2 really good teams in that league trying to get some free money, and then you play those good teams and you get some experience. Might not win, but then the next time you play a good team or a team that's slightly worse than them, 3 weeks ago you might have not been able to beat them, but now that you've played that good team, you're able to beat them and win. That's pretty much all to say for being a successful team. If you learned something new or enjoyed, remember to like and subscribe. All my socials are linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, and peace out, gamers.